is your American dream?
My American dream is to spread love all over the world.
My American dream is to live in a safe world.
My American dream is to come here to work because I love this country.
My American dream is to play one day in the NBA.
Out here in America, dreaming every day with my friends over there, and we're just trying to say, hey.
My American dream is good life.
My American dream is the life I'm living right now.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Tuesday, June 15th, 2021. Everybody's going to remember this day, Yo-Yo and Vanessa. You want to know why this day is going to go down as something that everybody remembers this day?
Okay.
Because today, June 15th, 2021, mark my word for this, will be the best Bradshaw Live we ever did.
Wow.
Mark my word. At the end of the show, you tell me, was this the best Bradshaw Live ever? I'm going out on a limb. I just feel that confident. Excuse me 1 second. It's very hot in here again. From yesterday. They didn't put the air conditioning on again till like 60 seconds ago.
Y'all are killing my boss, man.
Yeah, come on, man. Like in a Russian sauna here.
I'm gonna have to send you something from. I hate using Amazon because we done made him almost a trillionaire. But I want to send you one of those little fans that you could put on your laptop.
Yeah. Like like you would put like in school or in camp. Like the little thing you would like attach and it like goes like for like $3. Yeah. Right. I need one of those.
I'm gonna send you one.
Here. I'm up north now. I'm up north for the next 2 weeks. It's hot up here.
Oh, you are. Welcome back. Look at you escaping the mini hurricanes of the mini hurricanes of Florida. Yesterday, you ever go to a Russian sauna? No. It's like 100 million gazillion degrees in there, and then they got a guy with a hat on. I don't even know how he has a hat on and a bathing suit, sweating on top of you, banging you with like some stick with leaves. And that's supposed to be like relaxing and comfortable. I'm like that was the worst experience. Listen, I have nothing against the entire country, the people, lovely, beautiful people. That was the worst experience. I was sweating my what off. I can't even say it because it's a PG show, but I was sweating my what off, and this guy's banging me. I'm like, when is this thing going to be over already? Please.
I have never heard of.
Yeah, that's what I felt like yesterday at the end of the show. I was so hot in here because nobody turned on the air conditioner. Other than there was nobody banging me. That was the only thing missing.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. So far, my prognostication is not coming off. So far, this may not be the best show ever. We're going way off the rails here. Let's try to make this the best show ever. Let's see at the end if we do it or not. Vanessa, what do you think? Would you be satisfied? Would you be satisfied with a top 10 show, or you want the best one? Like you would like at the end of the show, you're like, I don't know if it was the best, but it was in the top 10.
I mean, definitely in the top 10. We're all in the tri-state area right now, which is not our case anymore. So this could be a top 10 show.
Maybe.
Without the Russian sauna.
Without the Russian sauna. Well, they put the air conditioning on now, so hopefully, we'll cool down a little bit here.
Good start.
Yo-Yo, are you hot or cold where you are right now?
I'm a little hot, but I have the ceiling fan on, so.
Are you generally hot or cold person? Are you always like walking around like I'm hot? Always hot.
Always.
Always hot.
Always.
Always hot.
I used to be sweating. Both of us would be sweating together.
Oh my
in the studio.
There's nothing worse than two sweaty guys in the studio, trust me. All right, I can't think, other than being in a Russian sauna. All right, let's go. I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's go to Denise Johnson Green. She's saying squad up. Pepe Samuel saying, hi, Brad, how are you? Roxy Nuku, squad up. Family, Elizabeth Francis, squad up. Jessica Kalimi, Marcia McCalla, squad up. Myrtle Ray, Nina, God Pickney, my buddy, how are you? Doreen Dappa, Stargirl Mika in capitals. Brad, I'm here. I said Myrtle Ray. Sasha Ford, how are you? Squad up. Dawn Harriet and Dodre and Graham. Dodre and Graham, squad up. Cindy Bursick, a.k.a. Pizza. Carol the Tiger, squad up. How are you? Terry Faith, saying hello. Terry Faith, squad up to you as well. Vanessa Contreras, number 1. You beat Westman by 2 people. Vanessa and Westman are in a huge competition right now, also known as Pape, because it's either Vanessa or Westman, always number 1 and number 2 in the comments on YouTube. Vanessa called me earlier. She goes, that Westman, I'm beating him today. How much you want to bet? She bet me $5 she would beat him. I said, there's no way, Westman, you cost me $5.
Telling you, the beginning of the best show ever.
Maybe the top 10 worst, maybe. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. At the end of the show, we may be like, that could have been one of the worst shows we ever did in our life.
No, it's the one great.
The funny thing is, you really never know, right, Vanessa and Yo-Yo? I mean, it's really true. When we start our show, we don't know if it's going to be good or bad. At the end, sometimes it's like, wow, a great show. Other times, we're like, not so good. You never know.
It usually is a great show, though. It usually is a great show.
All right, Westman, squad up. Tolly, how are you? Danny Boy 954 and Aaron Hassan Schnurr, squad up. Jill in my ear saying, if you want the best show, let's move it along. Yo-Yo and Vanessa, what do you got?
All right, so we've moved it on long. All right. So remember, we need everybody to share, and also if you're on YouTube right now, I need you guys to subscribe and hit that bell notification, because you never know when we're going to pop up. When we pop up, we don't know what time we'll pop up. So we are also about to start schmoozing with Brad, talking headlines and immigration news, including the new USCIS policy guidance on U visas that was announced today.
And it's Tuesday, squad, so make sure you have a cup of tea and settle in while we sip on some Hollywood happenings with Brad, like the Chrissy Teigen scandal. We need to get into that.
What do you think of that one? We'll find out shortly. But right now, you can give us a call. We're going to be answering your immigration questions in about 15-20 minutes. The telephone number is 1-800-529-5465. The first 14 people who call get to speak to me, get to ask me their legal issues. 1-800-529-5465. Internationally, we take calls from all over the world. +1 212-227-8933. And later in the show, we are going to meet the co-founder and director of Red Hook Art Project in Brooklyn, New York. Tiffany is going to give us a tour of her neighborhood, tell us how she is working with her students and local businesses to make sure no one in their community is going hungry. And there's a really nice story. But right now, Yo-Yo and Vanessa, let's start schmoozing. It's schmoozing time. So happy birthday, Vanessa and Yo-Yo. Happy birthday to Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, DACA. DACA turns 9 today. It's almost ready. Yo-Yo, it's going to be calling you soon to have the bar mitzvah. Okay?
I know.
All right, it's turning 9 already today, 9 years ago. And by the way, 9 years ago, Obama, after he was not able to get the DREAM Act passed, which has been in the works to pass a generation now. 1 full generation. Since right around the time of 9/11, that's when the DREAM Act was first dreamt, to give children green cards and a chance who came to the United States through no fault of their own, went through school here, and then found out as adults they're not welcome, they're illegal, and they should go home. Extraordinarily unfair, and what a waste of talent and an education that we gave these children. 1 generation ago, we've already lost a generation, Yo-Yo and Vanessa, because the DREAM Act was started by Richard Durbin. He was one of the co-sponsors, original co-sponsors, and I believe he's a senator from Illinois, if I'm correct. I don't remember exactly, but I think he's Illinois, right around the time of 9/11. And it wasn't passing back then because everybody thought every person who wasn't born in America was a terrorist.
Right.
And we'll find out shortly, though. What comes around goes around. But right now, we'll talk about in a little bit where the terrorists are really coming from these days. Somebody's in my ear. Also, so it started around 2001. A generation of people lost. 1 full generation of people lost. So Obama, he tried to pass it. He was not able to do it. And then he made an executive order, DACA and DAPA, Deferred Action for Parent Arrivals, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. DAPA was ultimately blocked by the court. DACA survived multiple court challenges, not only by Republicans during the Obama administration, but also by the Trump administration trying to end it. And had the Trump administration been half smart, they would have ended it. They just kept bungling ending it. And quite frankly, it was the DACA executive orders that got the pumpkins so riled up and said Obama was usurping his power as president of the United States by making sweeping executive orders to allow these children to stay in America. It actually was one of the reasons that got Donald Trump into the ring to run for president in 2016. And he was claiming Obama was abusing the executive order, which is used to make a regulation. So Obama made a regulation, and he said this group of people gets deferred action, which is a law on the books. And the president was given under the law sweeping authority to give groups of people deferred action for those who he believes shouldn't be deported. And he gave it to children who were living in the United States as of June 2007, residing here as of June 2012, and were under 30 years old. It was supposed to be just for a few years until they ultimately passed the DREAM Act to give some kids a break. It's now 9 years later. We're still debating DREAM Act. And you really can't find people. It's really hard to find somebody who says kids who came here, who grew up here, went to school here, never committed a crime. You know, some kids came here 3, 4, 5 years old, don't even know what their own country looks like. This is their country. They're as American as us.
Right.
Yeah.
Still not passed. Still not passed. Now, according to the Pew Research Center survey conducted between June 4th and June 10th, 2020, 74%, 3 out of 4 Americans favor passing the DREAM Act. 91% of Democrats favor passing the DREAM Act. Goddamn thing still can't get passed.
That's wild.
Now, I will tell you this. I have met with a few young adults who qualify for DACA and are scared to enter the DACA program. They think maybe the next president is going to end it. I don't think if Trump wasn't able to end it, it's not going to end until a law passes to give you a green card. And I can tell you, for the few people who are not in the DACA program who qualify, you are extraordinary. I am talking to the few who do not or have not applied or applied late. You can now apply late again and get into it. And for those who have not extended their DACA, I'm talking to you also. Don't be a fool. Do it. If Trump wasn't able to end it, it's not going to end until it becomes a law to grant you a green card. And you are going to be a very, very sorry person. This is exactly what I told this person the other day, who I spoke to on a consultation. I'm giving everyone my consultation that I just gave this person the other day. I said, you're going to be an extraordinarily sorry person if you say you're scared to do it. And ultimately, what's going to happen is eventually, at some point in time, there will be a law that passes, I assure you, for people in the DACA program to be granted their green cards. And I told this person, and I'll tell everybody else who's not in the DACA program, you will be an extraordinarily sorry person when it happens and you missed out. You'd be extraordinarily sorry person. So I'm saying it, Yo-Yo and Vanessa.
Go for it. Do it.
I am going for it. Why not? Meanwhile, I have to apologize yesterday because somebody said, hey, can you tell me about the new U visa rules and regulations? And I said, there are no new rules and regulations yesterday. It was in one of the comments. I was actually wrong because I had not read the immigration news, unfortunately, before I came on the air last night because I was doing consultations and working all day, so I didn't get a chance to see all the updates. After last night, I read it. I said, aha! Somebody in the squad was ahead of me. So there is new U visa policy, so I do want to talk about it. Now, Yo-Yo and Vanessa, you've been doing this show for a while. Can you tell everybody out there what the U visa is? Do you remember? I'm putting you on the spot.
Is it for is it victims of crime?
You got it. Yo-Yo's been listening. It is for people who are the victims of crimes. Yo-Yo, 1 for 1. We're going to put you in this. I'm going to start asking you the questions, Yo-Yo, in the speed round.
All about VAWA, okay? So many VAWA interviews with Sharon Lanier and Gret for that one, okay?
All right. When we have a VAWA news, I'm coming to you, Vanessa. All right. But the U visa, Yo-Yo is 100% right. It is for victims of crimes. And there are extraordinarily much larger percentage of immigrants who are out of status, who are the victims of crimes by U.S. citizens and residents against them, than what Donald Trump said was that undocumented immigrants were committing crimes against Americans. It's actually more the other way. There are so many people who are the victims of serious crimes that there is a waiting list of over a decade from the time that you apply for a U visa before immigration even looks at your application. That's how many applications they have, hundreds of thousands. And these are serious crimes. We're not talking about, a minor crime against you. We're talking serious crimes. If you are qualified for a U visa, if you are the victim of a serious crime, and you help the authorities, you help the authorities investigate that crime, and you have some sort of injury as a result of it. Those are the 3 components for the U visa. The problem with the U visa is that after you file it, it doesn't give you any status. You had to show humanitarian reasons why you deserved a work permit, and you waited over a decade for immigration to review your case. What a shame. Shame on immigration that somebody would be the victim of a serious crime and then have to wait a decade just to get anything from the immigration service after they came forward and helped investigate that crime. Shame on immigration. So at least the Biden administration has recognized this, and they are now going to give bona fide determinations, just like they do in the VAWA cases, Vanessa, Like when you file a VAWA case, immigration takes a quick look at it. And if they say that it appears that you meet all the qualifications without reading every last thing in your application, they give you a prima facie determination to allow you to get government assistance. This is similar, but instead of giving you a prima facie determination, USCIS is going to take a cursory look at your U visa application. If you meet all of the requirements for the U visa, you are the victim of a serious crime. You helped investigate that crime. You helped the investigators bring the perpetrator to justice. You cooperated with the authorities. And you have some injury, whether it's psychological or physical. They will look at that, check, 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 and instead of giving you a prima facie determination, they're calling it something different. They're going to call it a bona fide determination, meaning that your case appears bona fide. It appears approvable. When they do that, you will be put in deferred enforced departure status, just like a DACA recipient. Same exact thing. It's an executive order to put a group of people in deferred enforced departure status. You will get that deferred enforced departure status for 4 years. And what happens when you're in deferred enforced departure status? You get to apply for your work permission, and you have a letter from the government promising not to deport you. You are now safe. So for all the U visa applicants out there who are waiting years and years and years and years and years, now you will at least get a benefit while you're waiting. And this not only goes for people who are actively filing their applications now, but also they're going to go back and look at all the hundreds of thousands of applications that are currently pending. So hopefully those applications are bona fide. And if you don't get that bona fide determination, that doesn't mean your case will be denied. It just means it gets put in a different pile, and you'll hear from immigration years down the line, you're going to get an RFE. So if you don't, my opinion is, now I'm thinking about it as a lawyer, if you filed something, you didn't get that bona fide determination, maybe you're smarter to withdraw it and refile again and make sure you get it. But that is the new U visa policy, Yo-Yo and Vanessa.
Right.
Good news.
This is
Good news. And we were talking about, the DACA recipients, because we got to come full circle here. So we're talking about the DACA recipients, and, DREAM Act came around 9/11. People were terrified of terrorists coming. Donald Trump even now says immigrants are all terrorists. Remember the famous day he came down? It's famous because it was a sad famous day, not a positive famous day. A sad famous day when he came down the escalator of Trump Tower and he announced he's going to run for president, and the first words out of his mouth were that Mexicans are rapists, murderers, terrorists. We have to stop every immigrant from coming into America because we have to stop the terrorists. It's the immigrants who are the terrorists. Well, turns out he couldn't be further from the truth. According to the Biden administration and the National Security Council memorandum, the number one, bless you, Vanessa, that means when you sneeze, you know what that means? You're going to hear the truth right now.
Oh.
You're going to hear the truth right now. That's what a sneeze means. Okay.
Yeah.
According to the National Security Council, the number one domestic terrorist threat in the United States is white supremacists, people born in America, not people running across the border, not immigrants coming to kill us. Not to say that every immigrant is a good person. There are bad people in every group. But the number one threat in America today is not coming from across the border. It's white supremacists born in the United States of America. So Joe Biden, who's been traveling in Europe, he said in a statement, domestic terrorism, I'm quoting the president, domestic terrorism driven by hate, driven by bigotry, driven by extremism, is a stain on the soul of America. It goes against everything our country strives for, and it poses a direct challenge to our national security, our democracy, and our unity. So now moving forward, the Justice Department has implemented a new system to methodically track domestic terrorists nationwide. They're going to be evaluating whether, and they're also going to be evaluating whether the administration should recommend to Congress to pass a specific domestic terrorism law. Do you know there is no law against domestic terrorism in the United States right now?
Really?
No law. So if somebody commits an act of terrorism, you could arrest that person for their act of violence, shooting somebody, blowing up something, making a conspiracy to kill somebody. But there's no separate law that says we're going to charge you with being a terrorist.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Even when you invade the nation's capital,
Even when you invade the nation's capital,
property.
there was no terrorism law for people born in the United States. The terrorism law is for people not born in the United States. And but
So
there was a law against overthrowing the U.S. government, sedition. There's a law of trespassing, committing destruction to government property, threatening government officials. Those are all laws, but there's no domestic terrorism law.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
So the government has a plan. They're going to include an effort to identify government employees who also pose a domestic terrorism threat. They say it's been hard to track how often extremists driven by religious, racial, and anti-government bias commit violence in the United States because there is no terrorism law, so nobody's been keeping track. Officials say now the Justice Department has made domestic terrorism a top priority and is reallocating resources. You see, Donald Trump's calling me again as soon as he disagrees with me. It's amazing. Every day I get a call from him. Tell him I'm busy right now and I'll speak to him later. Okay. The official said the Justice Department has also made a domestic terrorism a top priority, has been reallocating resources at U.S. attorneys' offices and at FBI field offices across the United States to combat the threat. They're adding $100 million to the Justice Department to do it. Point is, they are now recognizing that the number one threat, white supremacy in America, domestic terrorism.
And what was that last thing you mentioned? What are our efforts to?
They're going to they want to look into changing the law, and they're adding $100 million to the Justice Department to start investigating domestic terrorists.
Okay, we got 2 Donald Trump calls this week. One yesterday, one today.
Every time I disagree with him, he has to give a call. I really believe it's him. I really believe it's him.
Government investment.
What?
Between the missiles yesterday and now we have to invest in this space. It's like, come on, we gotta get it together here. Gotta get it together.
Get it together, man. Let's get it together, America.
Get it together.
Meanwhile, we have some good news on coronavirus. Even though America surpassed 600,000 deaths in the last 24 hours. Governor Cuomo in the state of New York has declared in New York, we are no longer in a pandemic. He is opening up the entire state of New York to pre-pandemic, whatever it was pre-pandemic.
Right.
He is having a celebration this evening. There will be no more restrictions, no more quarantining. You can wear a mask. You don't have to wear a mask unless it's mandated by the federal government in certain buildings, because sometimes the federal government trumps the state government. But in New York, Governor Cuomo says, it's over. Put a fork in it. We're done. COVID is no longer It still exists. Not to say it doesn't exist, but it doesn't pose a statewide health emergency threat anymore in the state of New York. 70% of New Yorkers are now vaccinated. And as a result of that, that is what most scientists believe is the herd immunity to prevent COVID from coming back as a mass pandemic that we have to be concerned about. You still may have to be concerned about it on an individual basis, not to say it doesn't exist anymore, but from a public health standpoint, where we all have to quarantine, we all have to wear masks, we all have to social distance, we all have to leave the restaurant by 9 p.m., we can't go to a club, we can't go to a concert, we can't go to a sporting event. Put a fork in it, yo-yo. It's over.
That's it. It's over.
It's over.
Summertime fine.
New York State, it's over. And in celebration at 8:30, right when we get off the air, Governor Cuomo is having fireworks, I think on the East River, to celebrate our new, I guess, is it new independence? Our new, what is it that we're getting? I don't know. But we're celebrating something that we get to go back to the old way.
Celebrating normality.
Normalcy, our new normal. Celebrating our new normal.
Our new normal, which was our old normal, but we're going to call it new since it's been a while.
Yeah, whatever that means, yes. And California, for those living in California, your restrictions are being lifted also. Governor Newsom says America's not back till California's back. Guess what? California's back today too. So congratulations to all our friends out in California. Your restrictions are being lifted too. I don't think Governor Newsom's giving you fireworks like Governor Cuomo's giving us. We get fireworks over on this side.
And we'll just all take the freedom.
And congratulations to you, Nesquik, living in Florida. Your governor said COVID never existed there. It never happened in Florida. Just didn't happen there. So congratulations to you. You always had it normal. Meanwhile, we can't end our schmooze without at least one shooting. Yesterday, a person was killed and 3 others were wounded in Georgia after a man went crazy because he was asked to wear a mask in a store. The alleged gunman started arguing with a cashier at the Big Bear supermarket in Decatur, Georgia, over his face mask. The agency said preliminary information indicates that the shooter, Victor Lee Tucker of Palmetto, Georgia, left the store without making a purchase. He returned shortly thereafter, started shooting up the place.
Oh my God.
You see, this is the whole point. Because guns are readily available. If someone tells you to take off your mask and you get so disturbed and angry, but you don't have access to a gun, what are you going to do? You're going to be like, God damn, you know, and just maybe want to punch somebody in the face and throw stuff, but people aren't getting killed. Either that or do what Chris Rock says, make the bullet $5,000. This guy will go out, be really angry, say, oh, I don't want to spend $5,000 on this bullet to kill somebody.
Or might not even have it.
Yeah, that's right. He said, God damn it, I gotta go to work to make some money to buy a bullet to come back and kill this guy.
That part. See?
But since that's not the case, let me go home real quick, grab something I got, and I was really upset about this.
Yes.
So this obviously
it's just too easy to get guns and shoot people. That's the problem. It's too easy.
Yeah.
So when people get angry, when people get mad, and people say, oh, let's keep guns away from crazy people, everybody gets angry. I get angry. The two of you get angry. I don't know if I've ever gotten angry enough to go and kill somebody, but I've gotten angry in my life. And when you get angry, your emotion takes over. So, and that happens to a lot of people. or they feel disrespected. And if you feel disrespected but don't have a gun, you can hit, you can punch, you can throw things, you can yell and scream, but nobody's getting killed.
Yeah.
So, that's that. We have any tea? I need to relax.
Let's do it.
I need to relax. Look who it is! It's Mr. Rhymes! Mr. Rhymes has arrived! I don't call him J Rhymes anymore, Yo-Yo, because I follow Mr. Rhymes on Instagram and he's been working out. He's got some muscles on him. So now I call our butler Mr. Rhymes. I don't mess with him. Thank you, Mr. Rhymes.
Best show ever.
Best show ever, Mr. Rhymes says. Cheers. Let's see. Every day, I'm not even going to complain to Mr. Rhymes. I'm sure it's peppermint again. And by golly, it is. By golly, I have peppermint again.
No.
By golly, I'm not arguing with Mr. Rhymes. Peppermint, whatever you want to give me. Whatever you want to give me, Mr. Rhymes.
2 more weeks.
Maybe. Nope. I'm told this is the last week of peppermint. I'm told next week I'm getting chamomile. Jill is telling me you need chamomile. You need to calm down a little bit on the show. You're a little out of control.
Put you to sleep.
Yeah, put me to sleep. Yeah, give me some chamomile and put me to sleep. Right before I start answering immigration questions. I'll be like, oh, I know the answer, but let me take a nap. I'll get back to you in a little bit. All right, so what's up with this Chrissy Teigen, Vanessa? You wanted to talk about her.
I'm upset. I'm like a big Chrissy Teigen fan until I realized, you know, she's probably a mean girl, and I can't wait to hear from Yo-Yo about this one. Because I was a big Chrissy fan until everything came to light, because I love John Legend, I bought the package.
She's a bully.
My homegirl.
She's a bully.
Is trifling.
She is a bully with a capital B and end of the Y. Now, she wrote, let's get a little background here, and I'm sure Yo-Yo has some things to say. She wrote, as you know, a bunch of my old awful tweets resurfaced. I'm truly ashamed of them. As I look at them and understand the hurt they caused, I have to stop and wonder, how could I have done that? You know, the one thing is, these were done a long time ago. So can you blame somebody for something they said 10 years ago or 15 years ago if they're truly sorry today? Now, she's prolific on social media. She's 35 years old, and she went silent online after Courtney Stodden, who uses they, them pronouns, accused Teigen of bullying them in private messages. The pleasure singer, 26, told the Daily Beast in May she wouldn't just publicly tweet about wanting me to take a dirt nap, but would privately DM me and tell me to kill myself. Things like that. Things like, I want you to die. Now, in a since-deleted Twitter post from January 2011, Teigen wrote about Lindsay Lohan also. She wrote, Lindsay adds a few more slits to her wrist when she sees Emma Stone coming. Teigen was making light of the actress's admission that she cut herself and tried to commit suicide in the past. Now, Lohan has not commented on Teigen's bullying, but Lindsay's mom, Dina, told the Post that the 2011 post did upset everybody in the family. Fans are also asking to say sorry to that little girl who won the Oscar, who was Oscar nominated for Beasts of the Southern Wild. Am I pronouncing her name right? I know who she is. Kwavanzi Wallace. Did I pronounce her name right?
Never say her name.
I can.
Yeah,
Kwavanzi Wallace. I'm pronouncing her name right. A 9-year-old girl she was bullying.
Yeah.
She won the Best Dressed award at the ceremony, but Teigen commented in since deleted tweets. What did she comment? That it's okay to call a small child cocky. I'm forced to like Kwavanzi Wallace because she's a child, right? Okay, fine. So she was calling out everybody.
Yeah.
So she's a bully, and she was making her, and that's a Twitter thing. That's what you do on Twitter. You make your outlandish comments. You take your position. She did it a long time ago. Twitter's all about haters. A lot of them on Twitter. It's hard to make a voice for yourself and be even killed. Everybody's trying to be outlandish, to say something outlandish and be heard amongst all the Twitter feeds. Was this Chrissy Teigen trying to publicize her voice? Is this who she really is? Has she really changed? Can you hold her responsible for something she did 7 years ago? I'm listening while I drink my tea. You guys tell me.
Those are all amazing questions. It's like, can she? Did she? Has she? You know what I mean? Those are all.
Should we
Right.
forgive her?
I'm sorry.
Right. Those are all.
I have good questions. I don't have answers. I'm listening.
No, that's what I'm saying. So those are all questions that I don't think anybody has the answers to except for her. Like, we don't know if she truly felt like, I honestly feel like she did truly feel that way. Of course, you do use Twitter to, speak your voice and like put your opinions and your thoughts on, on the website, but like or that platform, but you don't really think, especially when you're not famous yet, you don't really think that they're going to resurface, or you might, that you'll get famous and then people are going to go back and look at all your tweets. But this is what happens so many times. Same thing happened with Kevin Hart and using homophobic slurs and stuff. So it's unfortunate that we have, the only reason why we're actually caring is because she's a celebrity. But there's so many people out there in this world that say the same thing, So I honestly think that this was what she really felt. Now, she has to suffer the consequences. Like I heard that a lot of her business is like getting messed up. Like, I guess she has like a cookbook or something like that. And, and it took her a while to apologize, because we've talked about this a while ago, and the fact that she's just now apologizing, it kind of reminds me of Chris Brown and Rihanna. When Chris Brown finally apologized after beating her like months after. So it's kind of like, are you really sorry?
Now, just follow up on that. Teigen's cookware and dining sets have been pulled from multiple outlets, including Bloomingdale's, Target's, Macy's. She apologized, Teigen. However, fashion designer and former Project Runway contestant Michael Costello took to Instagram to detail how Teigen and her stylist Monica Rose attempted to blacklist him from the fashion industry, which he says he still feels traumatized, depressed, and has thoughts of suicide.
Yeah.
It's too many people saying too many things. And if you say
that are
it,
very similar.
And if you if you say it, you kind of believe it.
Yeah, and I also don't know about that. Like 7 years ago, like she's been with John Legend for quite a while. Sometimes she had a platform at that point. Is it as big as it is now? No, but she's still a model, which makes you someone that is a public figure. And even if it was like, I could see, because sometimes she has like this sense of humor, like she's known for like her sense of humor and like her wittiness, like it was like overdone, and now you're bullying online. Like there's sarcasm and like being goofy, but then there's like just being mean.
Well, I mean, how old is she? It's not like she was like 15 years old when she did this. She was an adult when she was in her late 20s when she said this, and she was already extraordinarily popular. So she has to use her smarts to know what's right and wrong, and if she really believes this, and this is what she believes. I mean, I don't think people.
She wasn't as popular yet, but like she's kind of like Nesquik said, she's kind of known for her wittiness and like her sarcastic tweets. She talks mad crap about Donald Trump, and like it used to be really bad, and like a lot of people would like that, so. They liked it when she talked about people that, the majority of the people hated, but obviously, it goes both ways, because there's some people that you just shouldn't be talking about.
Yeah. I mean, a very good point. I mean, if she bashes Donald Trump, people are like, yeah, go girl. You bash a 9-year-old cute little girl who just, at the Academy Awards. Come on.
It's like some things just talk to your homegirls about. Like, make jokes with your friends. You can't just be, you have to also understand that your platform is so big and, it affects a lot of people.
So I don't know. Meanwhile, after years out of spotlight, Lindsay Lohan's coming back from all of this. Lindsay Lohan can thank Chrissy Teigen for making a comeback. She just got a new Netflix holiday rom-com that's going to come out next year because she started getting into all the news again because of this whole Chrissy Teigen thing. Lindsay Lohan coming out of retirement after being bullied by Chrissy Teigen 7-8 years ago.
I actually love that. And the fact that she didn't say anything yet about, the bullying, I love it. That's the best way to get, any type of revenge is success.
Yeah, and by the way, it's not just Lindsay Lohan. I mean, Britney Spears. All right, she's getting a fresh look back at.
I'm so disappointed, y'all. I can't tell you how disappointed I am in Chrissy. Like, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because, again, it's like the Go Girl when it's like witty and sarcastic to what's humorous to us, right? But then. Yeah, it's just not funny, sis. You really stretched it.
But I think Yo-Yo has a good point. If you make fun of people don't like, then it's okay. But if you make fun of people that people like, maybe it's not okay.
And then when you're making fun of people who are going through things, like Lindsay Lohan has been going through things most of her life. She's been in jail. You saw a picture of her with an ankle monitor. Drugs, rehab, almost died how many times? So it's like you're talking about somebody who needs help. Those are helpless people. These are people that actually need help, not other people to kind of down them. So
let me ask you a question. Okay, you go after the president. He has a platform to respond to. That's fair game. To go after a famous actor or actress or model, is there a difference between those two? They're both out there. They're both in the public sphere. They're both putting themselves out there for both positive and negative. Is there a difference between a politician, an actor, and actress? Just so you know, for libel and slander law, the laws are different for famous people than non-famous people.
Really?
Yeah, you have because the law assumes that a famous person would have his or her own platform to respond better to a libel and slander versus a private person, where there's a lower threshold that you have to prove.
Oh, that makes sense.
But what do you think? Is there a difference between going after politicians and going after other? I mean, Lindsay Lohan was going through a lot of bad stuff. Committing suicide. Why would you go attack somebody when they're down?
Low.
It's a low thing.
Yeah.
So low.
It's not tasteful at all.
TTT. There's no right answer.
There's no right answer. Just don't
no
do
right
it.
answer. But Vanessa's sad. One of her favorites.
Was
Quickly. Not anymore. Meanwhile, Yo-Yo, would you do? Yo-Yo loves the reality series. We've already seen him do one. Maybe he'll do another one soon. Here's one you may want to sign up for. A Discovery reality TV competition, a Russian medical thriller, and more productions are all heading to outer space next year. The Discovery Channel is seeking to cast 10 would-be astronauts to compete in a reality series, Who Wants to Be an Astronaut? Every week you get voted off the spaceship. Do you want to do this? The winner will get a real-life trip to the International Space Station.
You're so out of this world. This part is calling for you, Yo-Yo.
Yo-Yo. This is astronaut Yo-Yo reporting to duty. I'm here. Astronaut Yo-Yo. What do you think?
Where are they? Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
I think it's really a great show.
I think it's, you don't want to do it.
I don't know if this is.
I'm afraid of heights. I already hate flying.
I think Yo-Yo would be like that Russian singer who was begging to be voted off.
Right. Exactly.
Do you remember that? The Russian singer who wanted to be voted off and he went all the way. Yo-Yo every week would be like, please, I don't want to go to space. Please vote me off. And then they keep voting him on.
Dr. Love for space. We have a whole squad of live views and after views.
That would be so funny. All right, we got to get, that's our tea for the day, guys. Chrissy Teigen, Yo-Yo in space. I can't handle anymore. Can you? Meanwhile, in today's Braducation, I talk about 2 things you should never post on social media. Chrissy Teigen should be watching this. 2 things you should never post on social media if you try to get a visa or United States residency or even trying for citizenship. Let's watch. My goal is straightforward, to make the law usable and easy to understand for everyone. All of us in the United States have equal rights and should have an equal opportunity and a right to justice. I'm here to help because I want everybody to achieve their American dream. I'm Brad Bernstein, and this is your Immigration Braducation. I'm not here to tell you what you want to know. I'm here to tell you what you need to know. U.S. immigration law is complex and the regulations are constantly changing. My objective is to make the law easy for you to understand so that you can use the justice system, know your rights, take advantage of the law, and achieve your American dream. The Department of Homeland Security collects the social media information of not only anyone who is trying to get a visa or United States residency, but even those who are already naturalized United States citizens. From aliases to photos to likes, all of this is collected and stored in your permanent immigration digital files. So social media posts can be used against you in your immigration case. Now, obviously, the first rule of thumb is to use common sense and think before you post for all the world to see. But some posts that can get you in trouble might really surprise you. Number 1, don't post that you're getting a new job. If you have not already been approved for a visa to work in the United States, do not post your new job. You can get blocked from entering the United States if the authorities believe you're working for an American company without proper work permission. The same thing goes if you're looking for work. Number 2, do not post that you are looking for work in the United States if you do not have work authorization. And looking for work cannot be the primary reason you are coming to the United States to visit. Posting that you are looking for work on public social media will almost always result in the denial of a visitor's visa, a student visa, ESTA, and any non-immigrant visa, and would include a ban on any further entry into the United States. And by the way, you can watch all of our Braducations on OnlyFans TV. Fortunately for everybody, my clothes are on during the entire series of Braducations. Nobody has to see anything other than me in a jacket, a handkerchief, and words coming out of my mouth on OnlyFans, the only lawyer with his clothes on. Let's get to immigration questions. You got a question, I got an answer. We got full lines locked and loaded. Let's go to Ramel in Queens. Ramel.
Hi, Brad. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. So I have a VAWA case that was pending for 2 years, and I got a prima facie. And a couple months after I received my prima facie, they asked me for, they sent me an RFE, like for proof that I was married and I was abused. And I sent the proof in. What do you think gonna happen as an attorney?
I think if you sent the proof that you were in a legal marriage and you were abused, you're gonna get approved. I have no idea what they asked for. I don't know what you submitted, but that is the general process of what you go through. You get a prima facie, they send you an RFE, you submit proof of the bona fides of the marriage, proof of the physical abuse or extreme emotional abuse on a regular basis. You get approved. I assume you have a pending adjustment. If you have a pending adjustment, expect your I-360 approval, and then expect an interview several months later to finally get your green card. So I think based on what you told me, you're on the right track. I mean, without reviewing word for word what you wrote and what was submitted, I don't know. But based on procedurally, you're doing everything right.
Okay. And like with Corona and everything, how long do they usually take to reply when you send
It's supposed to be
RFP?
120 days, but sometimes it could be 6, 7 months, 8 months. What these files. But somebody's looking at your case, and that's the most important thing.
Okay, thank you so much. And I watched all your video, and I really, really like the good job.
I really appreciate it. Please spread the word to everybody. And if you run into a problem, you know where to call me.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ramel. Let's go to Carmen in Orlando, Florida. Carmen.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Carmen. How are you?
Good. So I have a 2-part question. It's not about me. So I know somebody who came in on a work visa in 2017.
Wait. You're kind of like muffled. What happened on 2017?
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me now?
I hear you better now.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So so it's not about me. So I was calling about somebody who came in on a work visa in 2017.
What kind of work visa? An H-2B, an H-1B?
Oh,
seasonal
question.
worker?
It was like a program.
What were they coming to do?
To work. It was like a cultural.
Okay, J visa, probably.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, so he got married in 2018, and then, so it turns out the person that he married isn't a citizen, so it's been almost 3 years, right? So now he's trying to renew his work permit that ends at the end of this month, and so they found out that the girl that he married doesn't have citizenship, so he's not going to be able to get residency until then. So she's doing the paperwork for that. But what can he do? Like, he tried to renew his work.
Well, you can't get a work visa if they believe that you're intending to remain in the United States, married to a permanent resident who may or may not have filed for you, because that work visa, that J visa, has a non-immigrant intent, and applying for a green card is immigrant intent, meaning you're intending to get a green card. He's been married.
Oh.
He's been married to. I'm sorry. No. What's no?
So the J visa ended in September when he got married, or not? I'm sorry, in 2018 when he got married.
So what work permit is he renewing?
The one that he got after he got married.
Oh, they filed an adjustment application.
Right. Yeah.
I
sorry.
understand. Okay. Now he filed the adjustment application while he was on that J visa in legal status.
No. It was after.
Okay, so that's why it's getting denied, because he wasn't eligible to file an adjustment if you're out of status, married to a resident. So here's the rule, so everybody knows. If you are married to a permanent resident and priority dates are current, which they've been for the last several years for F2A, and you are in legal status, you can adjust. If you are out of status, you have to wait for your spouse to become a U.S. citizen. So in this particular case, immigration's correct. If they filed the adjustment after his visa was up, fortunately for him, they accepted his application and he got a work permit that he didn't otherwise deserve for 3 years because immigration screwed up. But unfortunately for him, they finally found it out. They denied him. Fortunately for him, Joe Biden's president, so most likely they'll leave him alone, most likely. Unfortunately for him, he's got to wait on his wife to become a citizen. Hopefully that's soon. Fortunately for him, once the wife becomes a citizen, he's going to file again and get his green card.
Okay. So he really can't work until then. He's just out here without a work permit, and so there's nothing that he can do about that. Is that correct?
That is not a factual correct statement.
Okay.
A factual correct statement is he would be working as an undocumented individual. Working as an undocumented individual, if you are married to a U.S. citizen, does not prevent you from getting a green card. The law says if you work as an undocumented person and you're married to a U.S. citizen and that U.S. citizen files for you for your green card and adjusts your status, your undocumented work in the United States is forgiven.
Okay.
So can he work? Not legally. Will it affect him getting a green card? No. Does he have a social security number to pay taxes? Yes. Should he be filing a joint tax return with his wife? Yes. So it's like if you say, am I working legally? The answer is no, you're not working legally.
Okay.
If your question is, if I work as an undocumented person and I'm married to a U.S. citizen and I adjust my status, will that affect me? No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Those are two factual legal statements.
Okay.
Got
Perfect.
it?
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, and then I have like the second part of this. So unfortunately, their marriage is not doing that great.
Oh, okay. We didn't know that part.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So
that would have been good to know a few minutes ago. Okay, but I'm glad you finally told me. Okay.
Right. So if he waits until the all of the papers and stuff go through, are there any issues with him getting married in the future or anything like that?
If he gets divorced and remarries again, you're allowed to fall in love. I've said this many times. You're allowed to fall in love, fall out of love, and fall back in love again. Hopefully it's with a U.S. citizen so he can get his green card.
Right. So if he gets married like now, would that if he got remarried now, what would that do versus waiting?
It would, if he got remarried now, it would get him a green card faster.
Really?
Yes. What is he waiting for? If he's no longer with his wife and he gets divorced and falls in love again with wife number 2, who maybe could be you, I don't know, I'm taking a guess, then I hear it in your voice. You see, I'm smart. So if he gets divorced and marries you, you can file for him. He can fall out of love and fall back in love again. It's perfectly fine.
Does that have any impact on the citizen, though, that he marries the second time?
No. You're allowed to fall in love with someone who's undocumented and file for his green card.
Okay.
The only thing he did wrong was he overstayed his visa and he filed an adjustment incorrectly. But he hasn't broken a law and he's not prevented from getting his green card by falling in love.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you. In immigration, for the most part, love trumps it all. Hassan in Chicago. Hassan.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good. What about you?
Good. I'm sorry?
I'm good. What about you?
You're good what?
Just a second, please. Just a second.
Oh, what about me? I'm good if I could understand what you're saying.
You hear me?
Now I hear you. I'm much better now that I could hear you. What about me, I think you said. I'm good too. What is your question?
My question is, I applied for asylum last year and I filed the application for the work authorization and I had received the receipt, but unfortunately my interview was scheduled and I missed it because it was delivered to a different building. So my question is, can I still receive, by the way, I rescheduled my interview and was accepted to reschedule. Can I still receive my work permit and social security number?
Yes, if it's
before the new interview?
Yes, if it's rescheduled, they reopened your case, they didn't put you in removal, of course you can renew your work permit.
So yes. The second question is, how much time does it take to get for my interview to be rescheduled?
Magic 8 Ball. Hassan in Chicago wants to know when he's going to get his interview. Will it happen in the next 90 days? The Magic 8 Ball says Outlook is good. I agree with the Magic 8 Ball. It'll probably be pretty fast. 90 days or less.
So my new interview will be in 90 days?
No, your interview will not be in 90 days. I said approximately 90 days. Could be more, could be less, but it'll happen pretty fast. How would I know what day your interview is going to be?
I'm just asking.
Yeah, I don't know what day it's going to be, but it happens pretty fast. So figure around 90 days.
Okay, so I still can receive my work permit before the 90 days?
You can receive your work permit when you file to renew it, yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, don't miss your appointment this time. Good luck.
Bye.
All right, Tamika in Jamaica, New York. Tamika. Tamika.
Hello?
How are you, Tamika?
Hi, how are you?
Good. What's going on?
Hey, so I have a question. So I have a pending vowel, and I received my I-131 travel documents. And I was wondering if I could travel to my own country, because I was speaking to my lawyer, and she was advising me that if I leave, I would have an inadmissible when I return. So I've been listening to your show.
Your lawyer is 100% incorrect.
I know, because I've been listening to your show, and it's a total different thing. She's confusing me.
100% incorrect. You do not have any admissibility traveling on advance parole for a short, innocent trip abroad.
It's only 2 weeks.
That is a short, innocent trip abroad. What I normally tell people is don't stay out for more than 4 weeks, but even 6 or 8 weeks could be a short, innocent trip abroad. You just don't want to be challenged at the airport. 4 weeks or less, and you're perfectly fine. I have never, in my career, ever met anybody who had a clean record, a pending adjustment of status, traveled on advance parole, left for less than 4 weeks, and had any problem in the airport other than welcome back, ma'am or sir.
Because what she's saying is because
she's wrong. Whatever I don't care what she's wrong. Travel,
okay.
Enjoy your trip.
I will. Okay, I'm gonna buy my ticket now.
Go buy your ticket. Bye.
Thank you.
Let's go to Stacy in Bloomfield, Connecticut. Stacy. Stacy.
Hello, good day.
Hi, Stacy. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
So I have a family member who was filed for by her dad. Her I-130 was approved, and her case was sent to the National Visa Center. And they wrote her back. Now she has a ID number and a case number, but her father had passed before National Visa Center write her back.
Where is she right now?
She's here in Connecticut.
So the father passed when she was here in the U.S. How old is she?
Pardon me?
How old is she?
She's 35.
What other family members does she have here in the United States?
She has aunt, uncle, cousins.
What about grandparent, a sister-in-law, brother-in-law, a child?
Yes, grandmother's here.
Grandmother's here. Okay, grandma is legal?
Yes, she's a U.S. citizen.
So under Section 204L of the Immigration and Nationality Act, if you are in the United States of America and your petitioner passes after the I-130 is approved, all ancillary waiver applications are assumed approvable. So she has to do a humanitarian waiver to have another family member substitute in for her deceased father, could be grandma. She has to do a 601A waiver, provisional waiver to go home and come back based on hardship. It's presumed approved under 204L. So in essence, all of these ancillary applications, the humanitarian substitution of a new petitioner, the provisional waiver, is all assumed approvable. You get those approvals, she goes home and comes back. So somebody else can basically substitute in for her. For the father.
So
she's helpable.
Go home, come.
She's helpable. No, don't go home, come back. She's helpable. Someone has to substitute in, and she get a humanitarian waiver to get somebody else to substitute in, get a provisional waiver so she can go home and come back, process her, get all these waivers, then she goes and comes back. But she is an approvable case. Hold on one second. Even though the father passed. Hold on. Let's go to Sadiq in Winchester, Virginia. Sadiq.
Hi there. How's
How
it
are
going?
you?
Good. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
Okay, so I have a pending asylum case with the court, and my dates are like 2024. And I've been married for over a year. Like November comes, I think it's going to be 2 years. My I-130 interview is going to be scheduled probably in the next couple months.
Great.
So my question is, if I-130 get approved, do I have to wait till 2024 to see the judge, or?
Well, did you file an adjustment application too?
No, only I-130.
Okay. The answer is after you should file an adjustment application, and after your I-130 is approved, you make a motion to recalendar with the judge. The judge has to approve the I-485 adjustment. Make an application to recalendar with the judge. Say, I have a pending I-45, approved I-130. Immigration has approved this bona fide marriage. Can you reschedule a master calendar for an earlier date than 2024 so I can submit all of this documentation, and then we can make one final individual hearing to adjust my status?
Okay, all right. So, okay, so I don't have to wait like till 2024.
Well,
right,
maybe you have to. I mean, it's up to the judge, but I'm telling you what you do to make it go faster.
Okay, got you. All right, that was my question.
All
Thank you.
Good luck. Let's go to Eddie in Detroit.
Hey, Brett, how are you, sir?
Good. How you doing?
Good. I got a question. I got a withholding removal. I've been in America over almost 20 years, and did any law pass? Any hope for me, or
what did you do that caused you to get in deportation?
Just I didn't believe my entry. The way I entered the United States, I didn't have no inspection.
Are you single? Are you married? What's going on?
I'm single.
All right. Children, parents.
I got nobody here.
You got nobody here.
No children.
All right. So, when you say, is there anything new for people with withholding or removal? The answer is no. All right. If you say, hey, Brad, I got withholding or removal, what can I do? Well, the answer is become eligible for a green card and try to reopen your removal case to try to get a green card. But right now, there is no resolution. Nothing has changed in the last 20 years that somebody with withholding or removal all of a sudden magically gets a green card. You need to be qualified, and that's either be married to a U.S. citizen, have children over 21 who are U.S. citizen, parents, somehow be qualified to say, hey, I'm eligible for my green card today, and then start looking into how do I reopen my case. What I'd also suggest is, follow the news, see what happens with the Biden amnesty laws. If something like that passes, then yeah, maybe you'd be eligible for something.
What's this DACA program? That doesn't affect me, right?
How old were you when you came to America?
18.
It does not affect you. You had to be under 16 when you arrived.
One more question. If my mom applies for a personal visa to come to America, and they're gonna ask her, where are you going to see your son? Do I show like I have the papers? I got right to stay here, or I'm illegal? Or
no, you're not illegal. You're not illegal, but I doubt that they would give your mom a visa, but you never know. Maybe she's elderly. Maybe she would get one, simply because they may believe that she's coming to live here with you as well. But you're not illegal. You have what's called withholding or removal, which is that the government says you're a deportable alien, but we agree not to deport you because your life's in danger when you go home.
Gotcha. And one more thing. I was talking to my my roommate. I've been on him for a long time. He said, I can marry you or do this over here. What about that? Would that help me or no?
Well, if you're talking about entering into a marriage out of convenience to get a green card, that sounds like a crime. If your roommate's your lover and you love her and she loves you, then that's a different story.
Yeah, it's a him. It's I've been on him for a long time. So.
Well, if you're in a same-sex relationship, it's the same thing.
Yes. Will I be able to get the papers without going back home though?
I don't know how you entered America. It depends on how you entered America.
With no inspection.
Well, then you would need to go to a third country. But yes, if you're going to enter in a same-sex marriage and it is bona fide and you can prove it is real and bona fide and you love each other, then that could be a way to get a green card. All right.
Without leaving the state.
You may want to have a consultation, and we'll figure it out. Okay, hold on one second. Let's go to Vivian in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. So I have a problem.
My issue here is I came to America in 2017 with a B1, B2 visa. So after I stayed for 5 months, I met my husband, which we married a year after. Now we applied with immigration, and then we were denied. But my husband is in the army.
Why were you denied? Why were you denied?
They said it wasn't a bona fide marriage according to them. But my husband was deployed in Iraq, so I was doing it all alone. So after he came back a year, that is October last year, we refiled again by a lawyer. The lawyer didn't petition, but refiled the whole process. So in February, we were served a letter of removal proceeding. So I don't know what to do.
Well, you have all right. So let me. You and your spouse live together. It's a real marriage, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what you've described is you filed an adjustment application. Your husband was in Iraq. Maybe he was back and forth a little bit, but you were basically doing everything on your own. You got denied because you couldn't prove it was a bona fide marriage. You refiled again while your pending application is pending with immigration. They put you in removal. You forge forward with this adjustment application. You prove it's a real marriage. When it's time to go to a judge, you say, Judge, I have a pending adjustment based on a bona fide marriage. I've been married to this man who's serving in the military and defending our country, the United States of America. Give us time to prove it's a real marriage. The judge has to give immigration the time to interview you again and come to a decision. If it's a real marriage, you'll prove it. So you go to the master calendar, the judge will push it off to another day.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, but thank you so much.
You're
I
very
really
welcome.
appreciate it.
All right, good luck.
Bye.
All right. Let's go to Audrey in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Audrey.
Bless the Lord. Good evening, Brad.
Hi,
how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Strong in the Lord and the power of his might. How
All
about
right.
you?
Amen. Amen.
Amen. Yes, Brad, I'm calling you because I have a situation.
What?
My situation is I brought my daughter here when she was right about 16. She came April of 2006, and she was she's about 16. And when I was married after she became 21.
Okay.
So I filed for her, but I did.
You filed for her after you got your green card, I assume.
Yes.
Right.
And then I got my citizenship and I upgraded it.
Okay.
But I did.
When did you file for her originally? What year?
I think it was 2014.
Okay. So you filed 2014. You were a resident. You got the I-130 approved, or maybe you became a citizen first and then got it approved. But either way, it started as a resident.
I became a citizen afterwards.
Okay, fine. That's fine. And then you upgraded. Okay, perfect. Now, your daughter's still in the United States?
She's still in the United States, but they denied her twice.
Who denied her?
The immigration denied her twice.
USCIS here in America?
Yes.
Because she's not eligible to adjust her status?
Yes.
Right.
But then I had put in 2001 when they said we have to do anything, put in some paperwork if you're in the country. And I did do that for the...
what did you do?
What's it called? Oh, Lord. Oh. It's called if somebody couldn't fight for you under, like, working for some...
Okay, so what you're saying is you filed under that Clinton law, 245I, before April 30th. You did a job sponsorship through the Labor Department.
Job sponsorship.
Okay, and you filed a labor application.
Oh, yes, that was the labor application.
You filed a labor application. This was done before April 30th, 2001.
Yes.
Okay, you were physically here in 2000.
Yes.
Okay, but your daughter only arrived in 2006, so...
She was here. When she came back, she didn't go back.
I understand that.
Yes.
What you're trying to do is grandfather her under 245I, saying... Under 245I, what the law says is that every labor application that was filed before April 30th, 2001 is presumed as an approvable case. So as long as it was approvable at the time of filing... and you had an application filed, and your daughter was under 21 at the time, she's a derivative of that labor application. And what you're saying is, because it was filed before April 30th, 2001, she is 245I and should be able to pay a penalty fee and get a green card here. Your issue, I already know what your issue is.
They said it
The
was
physical
not stamped.
presence.
They said
It wasn't
it was
stamped.
not stamped.
Interesting. Okay. So I have to see what you have. I was going to say the issue is probably they're saying she wasn't physically here on December 21st, 2000.
No, they knew she was here, but they said it wasn't stamped.
Okay.
They,
So
and I showed them proof
what
that-
evidence do you have that a labor application was filed before April 30th, 2001?
I have the proof, the stamp, the everything.
What
that is
stamp?
when-
But you just told me it wasn't stamped. So tell me
No,
what
they
you
say
got.
The labor certification did not stamp it. From when I sent it out through the post office and everything that they sent back to me from them, that they actually got it.
You only have a receipt from the post office
And the
that
labor
something was mailed.
Certification that they received it.
Okay. What I would think we should do then is let me see the decision, have a consultation with me, and let me see what you submitted. Okay. If you have evidence that you had a labor application filed and you have a case number, we should even be able to find it via FOIA. Okay. That something was filed. Your other issue is going to become, though, her physical presence in the United States, because she wasn't here December 21st, 2000. You were. So you have to argue, well, I was here, so that grandfathers her in. So, but that's a whole other issue. All right, but I got to see what you're looking at. Hold on one second. Johan in Columbus, Ohio. Johan.
Hey, Brad. Hey, Brad. How really happy to be on the show today. Really great show today.
Thank you.
So, Brad, I have a question. So, I have a pending asylum case on, and I only got a biometric, and I'm waiting for the appointment for the interview. But I'm about to file for EAD, so I was wondering how will that affect my case?
You'll get a work permit. How would that affect you? You getting a work permit has nothing to do with whether or not your asylum is approved. One has nothing to do with the other. You get a work permit because your application was filed. Your asylum is approved because you have a claim for asylum.
Okay. And so my asylum was filed, and that was filed after the 1 year bar.
Right.
Is that going to be a problem?
No. You're still entitled to a work permit when you become eligible.
And once I filed for the EAD, is working before it becomes a problem, or do I have to wait until it's there?
You working undocumented does not affect whether or not you're granted asylum.
So pretty much.
So my answer is from the answer before when you person called about marriage to a U.S. citizen. Are you working legally? No, you're not legally working. Is the fact that you're not legally working going to impact your asylum application? No, it will not, and it would not impact an adjustment based on marriage to a U.S. citizen. It would impact marriage based on a resident, but not marriage on a U.S. citizen.
Okay. Maybe one last question. I'm stressing a little bit because it's the first time. So what about the timing? Do you have an idea about how long maybe I'll get the response from the asylum application?
Asylum applications happen very fast if you're just filing now. They do first in, last out. If you've been watching my show, so you're not going to wait.
It's been a year.
You should be getting something soon. My guess is soon.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Kai in Chicago.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I have a removal order from BIA. It's like 6-7 years old. Also, like a couple days ago, like Biden administration, they introduced discretion, like prosecutorial discretion.
Prosecutorial discretion, correct.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Why were you ordered removed?
I applied for asylum and I missed my interview. Then I went to individual court. Then I got denied.
Okay. So
Then I
you
apply
don't
for BIA and
you don't have a criminal record, right?
No, I don't have any.
Do you have
criminal
do you have
record.
family here? What family do you have?
Yeah, I have a family, and my wife, she got her asylum approved like last year.
Were you
And-
okay? So
And
then,
I filed for I-730 like 4 months ago, but still pending.
okay. So
And,
you should reopen your deportation case based on the prosecutorial discretion, and then ultimately you'll get the derivative benefits from your wife's asylum claim.
Yeah, I was waiting like the result of the I-730, but my guess is it will take
my answer
another 10 months.
answer doesn't change based on what you just the last 3 sentences. I gave you your answer. So I'll repeat again. Make a motion, and I can help you. Make a motion to reopen your case. You're entitled to prosecutorial discretion now. You don't have a criminal record. You are married to a woman with asylum. I assume you have children here
Yeah,
in
I
the
do
United
have 2
States.
kids.
So they're not going to separate families, especially after your wife got asylum and you're eligible for derivative benefits on her asylum claim.
But I need to wait till my
No, you don't need to wait for
I-730 is
no, you
approved.
do not need to wait for anything. Make the motion now. Hold on, I can help you.
Why? One question.
You've asked a lot, but
I have my wife's lawyer. Why he keeps saying me that I need to wait till my 730 is approved? It may take like 2 years, right?
Magic 8 Ball, why does Kai's wife's lawyer give him bad advice? Does he know what he's talking about, Magic 8 Ball? Does he know what he's talking about? Magic 8 Ball goes, well, I can't read this. Magic 8 Ball says, does Kai's lawyer know what he's talking about? No. Do it now.
Yeah, because I don't want to wait 10 months waiting 730, then another
Yes.
like 10 months
Right.
waiting.
Tell
like
your
BIA
wife's lawyer the
decision.
Magic 8 Ball says he's wrong. Or come to
Okay.
me. One or the other. Hold on. Let's go to Toy Foil in Dhaka, Bangladesh.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello, sir. I have a question. I-130 request for evidence was submitted in November 2020. Actually, I want to know how take this time USCIS will be.
It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be 100. It's supposed to be the request for evidence. I don't know what you request for evidence was, but I assume it's an I-130 visa petition, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's sponsoring you?
My brother-in-law, actually, my F4 category.
Your brother's
my
filing for you.
brother-in-law
When?
and sister,
Just answer the question so I can help you. Your brother's filing for you. When did he file for you?
Sorry, I don't understand.
When did he file for you?
In 2020.
2020.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was the request for evidence for?
Request for evidence, birthday certificate and school
A birth certificate.
And
Okay. So they asked for evidence to prove he's your brother somehow. Let's assume.
She was received. USCIS was received in November 2020.
I didn't understand one word you just said, but let's assume, just so you understand, let's assume takes them 4 years for you to hear back from them. Let's assume you hear back from them next week and you get an approval. Let's assume you don't get an approval for 8 years from now. It takes them 8 years to look at your case. You're still, no matter how long it takes them to look at your RFE and give you a decision, sadly, you're not going to get a green card for 12, 14 years because your date on the waiting list is 2020. So it doesn't matter when you hear from them. You're going to be waiting a very long time. You need to find a different way to get a green card. You understand? Because the concept of a priority date is that when you file your visa application, which was in 2020, that's your place on the waiting list. And right now, that waiting list is 10 years. Look back in 2010, 2009, whatever it is.
How more take this time?
You're at least a decade. Whether the point I'm trying to make is whether they respond to your RFE and send you an approval next week, tomorrow, in 2 years from now, in 8 years from now. You're not getting a green card till the 2030s, based on current waiting lists. So what I want you to understand is, if you want to come to America, we got to find a new way. Hold on, you need a consultation. Hold on. Let's go to Ali in Hartford, Connecticut.
Hey, Brad, how are you?
Hi, Ali.
I have a question regarding with my friend. My friend was interviewed in March for adjustment of status.
Can you talk not on a speaker, because I don't hear you?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, better.
Yeah, so my friend was interviewed in last March, and after a week he got RFE for 204G bona fide marriage exemption.
Uh-huh.
And yesterday, immigration called his wife. It was the Fraud Detect National Security Unit, and interviewed her again and explained her that they came to their house 3 times and they couldn't get to the building because the building was under construction. I interviewed her, and then at the end of the interview, asked her if they are separated. The husband lived there, and tried to convince her that the husband, is gonna leave her after the green card, and trying to tell her like this. They called her for her safety too, and leave her number and said like if something happens.
All right. You just gave me a whole bunch of stuff. They asked for a bona fide marriage exemption, which means that the person getting the green card's in deportation. So that person he's in removal. So he's got lots of problems to begin with. Now they're investigating the bona fides of this marriage. They show up to a place where they're supposed to be living, and the whole place is under construction, so nobody's there. So then there's issues here, okay, about the bona fides of the marriage. And if immigration special agents are calling U.S. citizen spouses and asking about whether it's real or not, you guys need lawyers. You don't need to call Brad on a show. You need lawyers. Hold on.
She does have lawyers?
She needs one. Hold on. And if she does one and you have to call me on the show, you need a new one. Rose in Atlanta.
Hello.
Hi, Rose.
Hi. I have a question. My mom was here some years back, and my dad was sick. He wasn't feeling well in Nigeria, so she had to go back to Nigeria. But before she left, my sister was filing for her in Houston, Texas. But she went back to Nigeria, and she's not been back to America, and we don't know what else to do because she was in the process. She already did her fingerprints already.
All right. So let me. All right. Who filed for who when now? Your dad originally filed for your sister?
No, my sister came here on her own. She already has a citizenship.
So who went back to Nigeria?
My mom. My mom was here.
Your mom was here and went back to Nigeria. How long was she here in the United States?
I think she was here for 9 months.
9 months. And when did she leave?
She left 2012.
How come she left?
My dad was sick. He wasn't feeling well in Nigeria, and she had to go back. But she's the only wife that we have, and there are some traditions that we do when the husband passes away.
Does she have children here?
Here? She has my sister here.
Your sister is her natural child?
Yes.
And your sister's a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir.
How old is she?
She's 49.
The easiest thing is let your sister file for her a new visa petition.
Can she file for her?
Yeah, she's a
From
U.S.
Nigeria?
Yeah, she's a U.S. citizen. She's filing for her mother.
Yes,
Even
sir.
if the mother had a 10-year bar, she left in 2012. By the time she gets an appointment, it's 2022 anyway. Absolutely.
Okay. How long do you think it's going to take for the USCIS?
Sometime from start to finish, you're looking 12 to 18 months.
12 to 18 months,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Hold on. We can help you, okay? Hold on.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Look how happy she was. And by the way, if you didn't get your immigration questions answered, you could always follow me on Instagram at Real Brad Bernstein. You could drop me a DM. I'll try to answer your questions as best as I can. Sometimes it takes me 2 or 3 days to get back to you. Sorry, I'm slow. But eventually I will get back to everybody. Ask anybody in the comments. I do respond, and you are personally talking to me. So just follow me at Real Brad Bernstein. I'll try to help you as best as I can. You could also follow us at Brad Show Live, as I say every day. You can't handle 2 hours, but you want 30 seconds of me? Well, yesterday you saw me, the whole shave thing. Mr. Rhymes decides what the best 30 seconds of our show is every day. And he puts it up on Brad Show Live on Instagram. Follow us for the best 30 seconds of Brad Show Live every day on Instagram. And of course, you can also follow us on TikTok, our fastest growing social media platform, bar none. Not even close, TikTok. People love our TikToks. Follow us on Brad Show Live at TikTok. And Yo-Yo and Vanessa.
Yep. You guys can follow me at Jonathan Elias TV on Instagram.
And you guys can find me at Vanessa.Contreras TV.
And later in the show, we're going to meet with Tiffiney Davis, the co-founder and director of the Red Hook Art Project, who rallied her students and volunteers to keep Brooklyn residents fed throughout the entire pandemic. Tiffany is going to give us a tour of her neighborhood and the work she and her community are doing.
And now in today's Close-Up Spar, and Bernstein partner and immigration attorney Shannon LaGreer-Mengret tells us when couples should start preparing for their USCIS marriage interview.
Fact and decorum, it's a huge moment in your life. So I've had cases where they have looked at what the people were wearing to the marriage ceremony. So somebody had worn shorts and they commented on that in the decision. It's really, really important to really respect the whole moment of getting married. So before marriage, during the marriage ceremony, and also marriage, that you want to make sure that you have documents to show that you were together.
All right, let's go to social media check-in. What do we got?
All right, our first comes from Jinat BD Pasha, a Brad Squad VIP member, saying, I submitted an I-589 after the 1-year bar and completed biometrics, but I'm still waiting for the interview. If I file an I-765 a year after I was notified that my I-589 was received, will my I-765 be approved, and how long will it take?
Yes, you filed 1 year after. Was this asylum she filed? Yeah, I assume. Yes. Yeah, so how long? A couple weeks. Work permits for asylum are fast.
Dahlia McKenzie, another Brad Squad VIP member. If I need to refile the I-485, can I change states, or do I need to remain in the state that I filed originally?
You can file from whatever state you're living in.
Oscar, Brad Squad VIP member, can someone in removal proceedings renew his work authorization with pending I-130?
Only with a pending adjustment, you can.
Lawrence Niddle, another Brad Squad VIP member. USCIS requested that I take my medical and bring it along when going for biometrics. Is this normal?
No, you don't bring your medical to the biometrics. You bring it to the interview. I think you read the notice wrong.
Anna Kovalchuk, a Brad Squad VIP member. This is a recent development. ICE issued a memo in the light of Nis Chavez ruling by the Supreme Court. If I understand correctly, that memo encourages people whose NTAs didn't have a date and time of hearing to apply to reopen their deportation proceedings using EOIR-42B. There is a short window to do so until November. Does this memo apply to removal proceedings completed in 2009?
Yes,
what would
it applies to everybody. Government has to give you time and place. That NTA was not done properly, and therefore it was an illegal NTA. So you can request to reopen your case and terminate your proceedings. You should try it. Why not? And by the way, Vanessa, I wasn't talking to you. I said they read. Just so you understood. I just want to make sure they read their notice wrong. You were reading the question correctly.
Yeah, no, that I figured.
Yes.
Lola Unstoppable on YouTube. When are the immigration courts opening in New York again?
Mid-July. I forgot the exact date, but a couple weeks, right around the corner.
John Adal on Facebook. If a person has a pending VAWA case and a valid advance parole, can that person renew his AP if it expires while overseas?
No, you have to do it here in the United States.
Olga Murillo on YouTube. Can I file an I-131 to travel domestically within the United States?
You don't need an I-131 to travel domestically. Just travel.
Brian on YouTube. What does it mean if my I-751 is assigned to an officer for review in 19 months of waiting?
Means that an officer's looking at it. We just don't know how long it's going to take.
Natasha Baburam on Facebook. Can someone check their status on an I-485 based on an approved VAWA?
Yes, you can go online. You can call immigration. You can do an InfoPass appointment. All three work.
Leslie Benoit on YouTube. I filed for a VAWA and I did the fingerprints. It's been 16 months and I never received anything else. No RFE, no prima facie. Is this something I should be worried about?
No, it's taken over 2 years.
Elizabeth Francis on Facebook asks, can I travel with an extension?
Extension of what?
Just an extension.
Let us know what extension you're talking about.
Olga Murillo on YouTube. Once USCIS receives my adjustment of status application, how long does it take for them to start processing it?
Immediately. It just takes them a long time to complete it. I assume the extension, now that I'm thinking about it, I assume she's talking about she filed an I-751 and she got an extension notice of her green card, I assume, but there could be a lot of different extensions she could be talking about. That would be the most likely scenario. The answer is yes. If you're talking about the I-751, you travel with the expired green card and that I-751 extension notice of your green card.
Asgard Can on YouTube. I got an immigrant visa interview IR5 at the U.S. Embassy Trinidad. They put me in the administrative process and asked for a few documents. Should I be worried or is that normal?
Well, it depends what documents they asked you for. If they asked you for 7 of your dispositions for all your convictions, yeah, I'd be worried. If they asked you for a better photocopy of your birth certificate, well, then it doesn't seem to be a big deal. So it depends what they're asking for.
Ginger Juice on YouTube. How long until I get my adjustment of status work authorization? It's been 3 months since I completed my biometrics and the check has not been cashed by USCIS yet.
Probably another 4 or 5 months.
Patricia Lusant on Facebook. Is it faster for a U.S. citizen to apply for a sibling or an LPR to apply for an unmarried daughter over 21? Also, when does the new TPS for individuals here before May 21st become active?
It's active now, the TPS, and it's quicker to have mom or dad file as a resident than sister who's a U.S. citizen file. 2 more.
Anika Rowe on YouTube. I married an LPR, got abused, filed an I-360, 485, and 765 in March 2020. Got my prima facie and did my biometrics in December and March. I'm still waiting on my EAD. What could cause the long wait?
You should be eligible for your EAD. I don't know what the long wait. If you filed back in March 2020, it's over a year now.
Okay, last one from John Adel on YouTube. Why does an affidavit letter from friends about good faith marriage have to be from a U.S. citizen?
It doesn't. It could be from a resident. It could be from anybody who knows you. How's that for an answer?
That is the answer.
Yo-Yo looks like he's going to Hawaii today.
I know, right?
Yes. You're making me want to go to a beach somewhere, Yo-Yo. Looking at that
Let's
shirt.
go.
All right. Now, according to Feeding America, the nation's largest domestic hunger relief organization, the pandemic drove food insecurity up more than 40%. Over 50 million people have experienced food insecurity during the pandemic, up from 35 million in 2019. Food insecurity is not having access to enough food to live an active, healthy life. low-income debt, unemployment, disability, homelessness, food price increases, age, and environment all play a key role. One woman who knows that food insecurity exists and is making sure her community is fed through the pandemic and beyond is Tiffiney Davis, the co-founder and director of the Red Hook Art Project in Brooklyn. We met up with Tiffiney and she gave us a tour of her Red Hook neighborhood and the work she's doing there. Let's watch.
Hi guys, my name is Tiffiney Davis. I am the co-founder and managing director for Red Hook Art Project. I'm from Red Hook, Brooklyn. This is my community. I'm standing right now in front of Jamit Bistro, which is located at 367 Columbia Street, which is the only Black-owned restaurant in the neighborhood. And Dawn Skeet was the lovely woman who allowed us to put our beautiful community refrigerator outside of her restaurant. And we're super excited about that. As we know, we are in a crisis right now. It is COVID. And we knew during COVID, there were some things that we needed to change and shift within our organization. So one of the things was to help our community around food insecurity. We have a lot of immigrants in this community, and we definitely know that they have lost their jobs. A lot of our immigrants have jobs such as nanny jobs and house cleaning, and those jobs was no longer available once this pandemic hit, and we knew that we could no longer meet in person. So we knew that we had to reach out and bring resources to our community to make sure that we can get food into the hands of those who truly need it, and also to the hands of those who were just facing some challenging times. So right now yesterday we had a drop off from one of our food pantries who brought in some frozen meals that we was able to put in over 300 meals that was distributed yesterday, and some went into the refrigerator. And as I walked up today, I realized that there's a lot that went out yesterday. So you can tell that there are individuals who need these meals and they walk over. And we also have a men's shelter that's right around the corner. And sometimes, unfortunately, they run out of food. So this refrigerator also helps feed them, as well as our families with children. This is a refrigerator that was brought to us by #LunchBagBrooklyn. They are an organization that before COVID, what they do is every last Sunday of the month, they get a bunch of volunteers to come together. We meet in a space and we make 500 sandwiches. We bag them with water, apples, and cookies, and our students draw on those lunch bags, and then we hit the streets of Brooklyn to distribute to those who may be in need and those who are just hungry, just bypass it, and just maybe giving somebody something can make them smile. You never know what a person is going through, so that meal, that bag with that artwork uplifts and inspires others, and it may allow some other person to see what we're doing, and they'll get involved and bring resources where it's needed. I started calling restaurants. I use social media to connect with individuals and families in the community. I started using hashtags, and this is how other people started to see the work that I was doing. Black Mountain Wine House got involved. They came back to me and say, hey, I would like to be in support. So I said, these are the ways that you can be of support. If your restaurant is closing down, and if you have food that you know that's going to go to waste, let's not let that happen. Let me pick up those items and let me distribute that through the neighborhood. And then we had other restaurants reach out to me, and I reached out to other restaurants and other food distributors and vendors, and even church in our neighborhood, Core Redemption Church, who's been doing a lot of community work. You know, they reached out to their resources of different churches that had access to bring food into this community. And they came in and they brought more food, so the line started to increase and we started to serve more people. And that's when a few other people reached out to me and said that these are some of the things that they never even thought about or never even registered to them, that what is an ally? Where can I fit in? Where can I be of services? And how can I take the seat in the back and allow you to lead? So I went on there, I did a Facebook Live. And that's how Hometown Barbecue, Mitch Roslin, he got involved. He sent me a personal message, and that Facebook Live opened up his heart and opened up his mind to see the story behind a Black woman. And that's something that he respected. And to this day, he still every Sunday provides me 150 to 200 hot meals to distribute to the community every Sunday. So let's take a tour through the Red Hook community. So this is the Regency. This is another community event space that allows us to use their space for our business address. So we also do distribution from this location as well. And also we have our beautiful outdoor library where students and adults can come and pick up books. And this is also brought to us by #LunchBagBrooklyn. This is actually with the community residents who live here. And this is also a meat location where we distribute our hometown barbecue meals every Sunday. All of these artworks is taken by a local resident named Alden. He highlighted everyone who obviously inspired him and all of the work that was being done in the community, and highlighting people's faces that may have been overlooked. We all know that art sends a great message, art is healing, and when people saw this artwork go up in the community, it just inspired so many people to see the faces of people that they know is doing the work. So I'm happy for the village that we have created and this community to continue to provide inspiration and to give people grit to go out there to believe in themselves and to have faith, and because all things are possible when all hands are in. Look around the park. If you look at the giraffes and then you look behind you, you will see a church. And then you will see the church right here as well on the giraffe. And these are all done by students from the age 12 to about 13 at the time. So this is also another piece that was done by the youth in the community, Red Hook Initiative. The Red Hook Justice Center is responsible for bringing these children together and having them tell part of their story or tell part of what inspires them in the community, or maybe a moment that they were going through. So many emotions. So to see these children's faces that I recognize, it's on here, it's uplifting. So if it's uplifting to me, imagine their siblings, their families. So these are the things that I want to see in the community. Art is important, and to have the children be the leaders in the face of what's going up in the community, I think is going to bring a lot of attention to our next generation of students on how to be productive and engaged citizenships. And to see these children be resilient, and you see these children outside still playing, still going about their business and carrying so much. This is why I'm out here, why I do what I do. They are the inspiration, they are the air I breathe. So this is Red Hook's Art Project home. We currently moved from this location on January 15th this year, you know, due to the different challenges and crises we were in. But before the pandemic hit, we did realize that we wanted a much bigger space so students can do bigger projects and we can serve more students. So I am the co-founder and managing director for Red Hook Art Project. Red Hook Art Project first student is my son, Tiffiney Davis. He's now a phenomenal artist, social media influencer. You can follow him at I Am Waffle. A woman named Deirdre Swords, who used to live in the community, she was volunteering at a local school. She was volunteering doing academics, math and reading, but by heart, she's an artist. She recognized my son's talent and immediately started to get connected to my son and give him personal art classes outside in Coffee Park, later on in her home, and then later on in my home. At the time, I really wasn't engaged in the whole conversation around her giving my son art classes, because I come from so many lacks and so many lack of education that I said, you want my son to sit here and draw? Are you kidding me? He needs to understand reading and math and how to write. Those was my main focus. But one day, he and Deirdre, they sat in my apartment, and my son did a recopy from something from the Sistine Chapel. And when I see him do that, I was blown away. That's all I needed to see, hands down. So I started to get more engaged with his art stuff. One day, my son just was like, I'm bored. I want to bring some of my friends. And by surprise, when he brought his friends, His friends were artists. So it was just like a group of boys that was just artists, and Deirdre decided, let's give them some classes. And they were just giving them classes to keep them engaged, keep them off the streets, to keep them happy, to keep them conversating. But Deirdre had this bigger idea. She's like, we gotta get these kids to art high schools and colleges. We gotta build portfolios. So I looked at her and I said, well, that's something I can't afford. I don't come from that world. And she said, well, we're gonna take care of these things. We're gonna create a nonprofit that's going to help us help these children. And that's when we started to canvass the Red Hook neighborhood, Deirdre reaching out to her network of artists and bringing in people who wanted to give back in the art way to help these children build portfolios. So that's pretty much how we got started. They built art and music portfolios, and we took them to these auditions to apply for these art schools, and by surprise, they got accepted. And they're now phenomenal artists, social media influencer, have been in movies, commercials, doing a bunch of commissions and meeting different big time artists. So it's really inspiring to see them continue that path. But as they got older, we got new students. And as the new students came in, the era changes, right? We have some students that's struggling academically. So that's when we started to say, let's bring in academic supporters who can sit down with our students for 2 hours a day and support them with homework help or whatever issue they may be struggling with during school. So that's how we started with expanding the program, bringing in individuals who can help with academics. And then we realized, me as a struggling mom, going through so many different challenges, I was seeing a social worker to help me with some of my issues that I was going through, so that way I can continue to be a leader and lead by example. So I asked this organization, nonprofit, which is called Children of Promise. They're located in the Bed-Stuy community. I asked them, can they partner with us to bring in social workers to support our students and families? And that's how we expanded that part of the program to bring in stress management. We have to realize that art is a basic human right and everyone should have access. We service Hispanic, Asian, Chinese, Black American, and white American students from the age 7 to the age 21. Our whole goal is to serve the whole child well-being, build a long-lasting, impactful relationships, and have them come back and do the same thing for the next generation of students. One of my challenges that I find to be the things that keep us divided in this country that we're not focusing on is when you say that this program is for Black and brown people. That means that you're already telling Black and brown people that they're not capable or worthy of anything else. And you're telling white students that they are better than these students because we have more. The goal is to bring everybody in the same space to get to learn and understand each other, understand different walks of lives and communication, what are stigmas, what are language barriers. You know, those are the things that need to happen. The only how to create that is to create space and programs that is effective for everyone as a whole. Having an opportunity to be a co-founder for a nonprofit and be a parent and show up for my children's education is one of the things that I am so grateful for, because coming from so many lacks, everything could have happened so wrong. I know firsthand in my testimony, in my blood, spirit, and soul, that art saves lives. It will be such a shame to have fed our community for a whole year of this crisis to go back in person and not continue that work. So in order to do that, these are the things that we're going to need the community and allies and people around the world to help and support us do. People can go to our website, which is www.redhookproject.org, and they can hit the donate button. We have 3 different categories. You can help us with a space, you can purchase art kits, or you can purchase a hot meal from Jam and Bistro for a family. And we will send that family there to pick up those meals. My American dream. Woo. I have so many dreams, man. How do we support insecurity around food? And how do we allow people to shop for food with dignity and for free? So my biggest thing, what I'm trying to do is put a commercial kitchen in Red Hook where conversations can start and people can eat with dignity. So that's one of the things that is my American dream. is to start that in the Red Hook, Brooklyn community, and hopefully that other people around the 5 boroughs and around the world will see that this is happening and will repeat it.
Melissa Sobolik, president of Great Plains Food Bank, says that hunger hides in plain sight. No one wants to admit that they're hungry or ask for help, but it's out there. Tiffiney Davis showed us that as well. Hunger is out there. Great work, Tiffiney and Red Hook, Brooklyn. All right, Yo-Yo and Vanessa. Let's do it. Let's do it. 50 seconds, 9 questions. We've been on a roll. We've been speeding through these and getting a lot of balloons. Let's see if we can keep it going. You ready?
I had one inquiry from our social media check-in when we weren't sure what documents Asghar Khan was referring to. He said that USCIS asked for 2 police clearances, that he lived in countries more than 2 months, and his previous passport were the documents.
Seems okay to me.
Perfect. All right,
Speed round. Let's go.
Can an F1 student apply for TPS?
Yes.
Can I quit my pending asylum case?
Quit it? No, you can't quit it. You
Can
can
I
withdraw.
file
You
for
can withdraw it.
asylum
Yeah.
after
Can
I file for asylum after being in the U.S. for 1 year?
It has to be less than a year unless changed country circumstances.
Can I join the U.S. military while my visa is pending?
No.
Can I apply for OPT after my master's program?
Yes.
Can I work for 2 different employers on OPT?
Yes.
I was deported in 2007. Can I go back to the U.S.?
Depends on why you were deported.
Can I apply for STEM OPT after filing I-485?
No.
Can I travel to the U.S. with my B1, B2 while waiting residency?
Not if you have an intent to get a green card.
There we go.
I was started off slow, but then we went pretty fast, right? I was like, what? Huh? But we did it, right? There was one question where a guy wanted to withdraw his asylum. I mean, yeah, you can withdraw, but you're gonna get deported. I mean, what do you want to do? He wanted to stop quitting. No quitting. You can withdraw it if you're refiling for something else, but you can withdraw it and do nothing. You're getting deported, man. So I mean, I guess the answer is yes, no, but I don't know what quit means. You can't quit. There's no quit in asylum.
No quitting.
You can withdraw and do something else.
Day.
All right, comments of the day.
All right, our first comment of the day comes from Don Harriet saying, Brad, I just love your laughter. It's contagious.
Aw, thank you.
That's true.
Do you know I've heard that my whole life?
Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah.
a good thing.
Our next comment of the day. Tanya Love saying, squad up to the best immigration firm where you can get all your answers in just one text. No,
Thank you.
all the answers, but some answers.
Some answers in one text.
All right, our third comes from Nini God Pickney saying, it doesn't matter what your immigration issue is. Uncle Brad is definitely worth your time. Been there, done that. 100% recommend you.
All right, thank you.
And our last comment of the day, wrapping up Tuesday, comes from Tanisha Brown saying, the best immigration lawyer. Thank God I hired Brad.
All right.
So
And by the way, at the beginning of the show, I said this is going to be the best show we ever did, and I think it is. And I'm sticking to it.
So too.
Until tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the best show we ever did. And then Thursday will be the best show we ever did. But for the next 24 hours, God damn it, this is the best show we ever did. We'll see you tomorrow for Hump Day. Why not? So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAWLINK. 1-800-529-5465.